All right, so we're showing a couple minutes after 12, so we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody to our Growing Readers Together webinar with the Wellington Public Library. Growing Readers Together is a 7-year project of the state library that provided direct grants to libraries to libraries program funded by the Buell Foundation. GRT focuses on supporting library professionals who are developing service to informal family, friend, and neighbor caregivers of young children in their communities. And Quick Bites is a series of 20-minute talks on various topics related to early childhood, early learning, and working with FFN caregivers in the library. So this year, we're hosting some of our grantees who will share the work they've done in their libraries through Growing Readers Together.
Awesome. Thanks, Christine. And for the overview too, because these get viewed not only post by Colorado librarians, but also nationally too. We've had a lot of national people viewing this too. So it's always kind of nice to give an overview of what the program is. And I have the honor of introducing Molly, who is our featured speaker this week. She is the library program administrator for the Wellington Public Library in Wellington, Colorado. And for those of you who might not who view this in the future, who might not be familiar with Wellington, it's probably one of the most northern, larger cities before you get into Wyoming, if you're heading north on I-25. So she'll be presenting about her experience as a first-time grantee in a rural library setting. And we'll be focusing on her successes or their library successes and obstacles of planning and implementing changes that were made possible through these grants, while balancing the demands of current programs. So I totally can relate to that. Molly has been in the Wellington Library for 4.5 years. And Molly, we're excited to hear about your journey. So, and also anyone who has questions, if you can either put in chat, which we're monitoring, or feel free to unmute as well. So either way. All right, now take it away, Molly. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now, of course, my slide control is not there. Oh, dear. Oh, there it is. Okay. All righty. Thank you so much for the introduction. I am happy to be here and share the information that I've learned from this process. It's been really exciting and demanding and rewarding. So I'm grateful for that. And so today I just wanted to talk a little bit about how it works with rural libraries. Sometimes it can differ from the larger library systems because there are smaller fewer staff members, and that means we're wearing a lot of different hats to do the things that every library is trying to accomplish. So we are also spending a lot of our time focusing on trying to meet our operational goals. And sometimes that means that things like technology and other resources maybe we don't invest in those quite as much as some of the other libraries have the opportunity to do. So I also found that as a first-time grantee, I really had a lot of goals in mind. I wanted to accomplish everything. And of course, you have limited funding and you also have limited time. And so that was one of my biggest difficulties. There were so many things that I wanted to do, thinking about all of the projects that I'd wanted to start even since I began at the Wellington Public Library. So we wanted to upgrade our outdoor play space and our indoor play space. I've done many story walks, but I've done all of them temporary. And so, investing in something more permanent was really exciting. And then we really needed to upgrade some of the things that we were missing in the library. So, and of course, we could always go for a new library too. So.
Sending good vibes on that too, by the way.
Thank you. All right. So these are just some statistics about Wellington itself. We are a rapidly growing rural community of about 12,000 people, and we're close to Fort Collins, which is great and helpful, but it does mean a lot of the residents here are commuters, and so not everyone even knows that we have a library here, which always kind of breaks my heart, but it is one of those things that when they do discover it's a little gem in our community, because there are not a lot of other resources. So the library has kind of become the community center for the town. And as we continue to grow, we are outgrowing our space. So the town itself is growing, and the library has not expanded since I think 2000. So it's definitely bursting at the seams. So that would be a really wonderful thing to be able to move into a new building, and that will hopefully happen eventually. So the library serves, and the poverty rate in Wellington is 11.4%, with 36% of students qualifying for free and reduced lunch, which I think shows how many of those it's young families that are dealing with poverty in the Wellington area. So us being able to implement this program means so much to so many. So although daycare options are tight, we do have the benefit of being a part of Poudre School District, and we were chosen as the Universal Pre-K Program Hub. So that was really exciting, and it did add a lot of options for families. So Stone Elementary, which is actually just a stone's throw from the library, they have 10 preschool programs. So that's really exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So as far as the needs of Wellington, the library itself, we really wanted to focus on early literacy fundamentals that we were missing. And we did not have a separate learning computer, so that was a major priority for me. And then also I wanted to invest in some other things that were something that families could check out, bring home, enjoy. And so we did, I was focusing on the early literacy kits, which I've always planned on doing. However, putting them together is a lot, it takes a lot of time and energy. So it was really nice to have the grant funding to be able to purchase those. And then, they're ready to go right from the jump. So we also wanted to invest in more interactive manipulatives to be able to have in the library. We have a lot of families that come in and just kind of use the space to explore. And so just having the opportunity to, vary those kinds of things which was really important.
Molly, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
In the early literacy kits, and this is something I never really talked with Kate about, did you all each have free reign as to what you put in them, or was there like a list that you all picked from, or how did that work, if there's time? And if not,
yeah,
we can go back to that.
Well, I purchased them through Penworthy, and so I looked at the options that they had, and then we are adding more to them as well. So that's been, an interesting process, but it's been fun to be able to kind of, hand pick the things that we were
right
have in them. Yeah. So
you need yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So as far as the accomplishments of the grant program, we were able to create the mobile learning centers. With the Awe Station, I have an interactive manipulatives board. We have the STEAM kits. I also was able to order Wonder Books, which I'm really excited about. That's something that came up fairly recently. And so it was a push at the end of the grant programming. So I haven't gotten those cataloged yet, but I'm really looking forward to those. If you're not familiar with Wonder Books, they're a playaway product. It's a children's book with the audiobooks component built in. And so I think it's going to be really great. I got 3 bilingual books and then one just English book. But I do think it's going to be a really great enhancement for the library. So we also were able to distribute the literacy kits with all kinds of supplies and lots of books. to families and caregivers. And we had such a great reception from that. It's been a lot of fun, and people have shared through word of mouth about the program. So that's been really great. And then, of course, connecting with the families and caregivers here in Wellington. So one of the biggest obstacles for me, and I referenced this before, was spreading myself too thin and thinking that I could accomplish more than I could with the amount of money that I had. And so there were a lot of things that I had envisioned that we had to put on pause for now. So the nice thing is we have looked at it, we've developed plans, and I think it'll be easier to implement them in the future. So that's really great. But unfortunately, I was not able to do the story walk. And then we also have a really beautiful outdoor space, but it doesn't have, any interactive play in it. And so I was really hoping to be able to put some things out there. Of course, making them, buying things that are waterproof and weather resistant it's very expensive. So yes.
But you also you have that time, like sometimes you can synthesize and let things mull, and you've got these slides to let you know, okay, this is what I want for the future, right?
Right.
So kind of like that's
Yes.
the cool thing about this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Uh-huh. These are just a few, and I'm sorry if this is blocking you. I don't know. Are you able to see this?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was blocking you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
It's
Okay,
so
I apologize. Alrighty, so this is just a few pictures of some of the things that we had going on. This is one of our summertime events, and it was with our summer reading program, but we did try to integrate the GRT grant information and sharing with our summer reading program. And then this was one of my favorite things that I got with the grant money, which is a giant tunnel big enough for adults to go through. And so it's really fun for really all ages. So it's one of my one of my FFN play groups that I had. And then I just wanted to share a space or share a picture of the space that we have outdoors, and we will invest in the future for doing something more with play in mind in our outdoor space. So it's really lovely though.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as far as the things that we've learned, again, I talked a little bit about just spreading ourselves too thin. We really only scratched the surface of the things we wanted to focus on. So in the future, I will definitely choose specific projects to dive into. And I've already mentioned them, but the story walk and outdoors play space would be a focus for me. We also really had to think about our space and what we could do with it versus what I actually wanted. And so we had to change things around a little bit and choosing pieces that serve multiple functions. And my example here is I had a vision of, a manipulatives wall board that would be really interactive, but we literally have no wall space. So I went ahead and got a freestanding board, and the nice thing about that is it's magnetic. We can change things out when we need something fresh or something new, or focusing on a particular type of learning practice. So that's been actually a really fun thing to have in the library. And then, of course, being able to reach these caregivers and the children in their care has been really wonderful. And the best thing about it is seeing them come back after they hadn't been into the library before, and now their children are starting to become very familiar and feel like they're a part of the library and it's their space. And that's really our goal with that. So
absolutely. As I've been looking at the reports coming in, it still amazes me how many more people that we were targeting at the beginning of this years ago. Now they're being targeted. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really,
cool.
really fun. Oh, and that's it. So thank you very, very much. Does anyone have any questions?
I know I do have one. It's a minor one, but I'm waiting to see if anyone else, I want to give other people a chance before me. And I know how people busy are. So if you do, just unmute, or I'm monitoring chat too. But at your opening slide, there was this really cute picture. It looked like toilet paper or
Oh,
snow. Couldn't quite tell. And
oh,
I was going to ask about it, but I didn't want to interrupt while you were, starting off with more
oh,
things.
that is one of our very favorite events. And it's our foam party that we've
Oh,
had. This is actually our third year that we've done it in our summertime program, and it's just been so much fun. So that's with Ann Lincoln, if you're familiar with her. She's in the she's actually in the Denver area, so she's probably in all of Colorado. But yeah, it's a really, really fun experience. It's a
so
big
they like,
bubble party.
oh my gosh, that is so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, that looks so fun. Well, and how much of this is fun? Because like, who is adults? We adults, who doesn't want to play with Play-Doh and go through those big tunnels yourself?
Some of the grandparents were not interested in the tunnel,
Oh,
but but that's okay. It was, the fun thing about having something so large is the bigger kids can go through it with little ones, and it's really been a fun thing to have. So
and refresh my memory. You just said Ann Lincoln, and Carol has commented she's great. So say again, who she is.
Anne Lincoln, she's actually she has multiple presentations, but she has, I believe her company is called Foam on the Range.
Oh,
And she is also a magician, and so you can choose either type of presentation. But Foam on the Range is a newer program she's offering, where she has a foam party that she'll bring to your library. So
oh, how
really fun.
cool.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'd love to show the picture again, but I'm not sure how to get back there
Oh,
besides
no,
going through
that's,
my slides.
and I
Okay.
misunderstood you first time. I thought you said phone, like, telephone. And I'm like,
Oh,
but it's foam.
foam, as in
F-O-M,
lots of bubbles.
which is even better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so cool.
it's really,
Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Because again, this is our second week in a row where we have had 6 people total, and it's the time of year. And Misty, yeah, I agree, great job. And it's really been great and enlightening to see the different parts of the state that we've been featuring, because Misty's from Silverton, Southwest, and now we're way up north. And
absolutely.
yeah, it's really, and Carol's joining us from Colorado Springs area. So
Yes.
yeah, it's really pretty cool. But
Yeah, definitely. And Misty, I really enjoyed your presentation, just to let you know. And I'm from Durango, so I know Silverton well. And it was just lovely to see what you've done with the library.
agreed. I didn't know. I was going to ask Molly if you had grown up in Colorado or not. So you're from Durango, just like Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really realize. I knew Kate lived there. Is she
Yeah, I don't
from?
think she's from there.
Oh,
I think I'm misspeaking on where she's from. I can't remember, but I know she lives there now.
yeah.
So I've been there many times. So, all right. If we don't have anything else, Christine, is there anything else before we wrap up? Or otherwise, I think we're good for this one, right? And we just thank everyone for joining us. And we'll share, Molly, the recording probably within the next day or so. So yeah,
And
thanks
I
so
just
much.
want to say thank you so much to Growing Readers Together and the Colorado State Library and the Department of Education for everything in helping us accomplish these things. It's been really, really fun to participate, and I'm just so grateful that we were able to do the things we did. So thank you.
That's very sweet. And thanks to all of you too, because I've been just amazed by what everybody does and how much I've learned. So anyhow, all right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your week. What day are we in? Wednesday? Um, so I'm losing track. It's been that kind of week. So yeah, have a good rest of your week ahead, everybody. And thanks so much.
Thank